It sounds like what you're trying to do is taking the guesswork out of knowing what to do with particular publics or customers, that type of thing. Would that be true?
That's exactly true. Because a lot of businesses, they do a hit and miss. I'm going to throw it on the wall, see what sticks. Or I'm going to just do a shotgun appeal and see what happens. I'm going to send it everywhere broadly. And that can be very expensive. And these days we need to watch our budget. So businesses are wanting to be much more precise and accurate on honing in on exactly what their public or the people they're trying to reach, what they want. And not just assuming that you know everything about them. So that's it.
Can you take us through an example of what you might do in the initial phases of doing a survey, and then how you might utilize that in a marketing campaign?
Well, the first thing I do is find out from the client what he wants. Everything about his company and competition, what else he's done. Maybe he's done some research. We'd find out all about that. Then we'd find out what public and people he wants to reach, because if it's a service or a product, it's still people. You still have to reach people. So you want to target them precisely. Is it women over 40? Is it other CEOs? Is it teenagers? And those types of publics in one area, say the South, the Deep South, are very different than New York City or here in LA or the Midwest. So each area has their own attitudes, their own opinions, and those are the things you want to know if you have a business in that area. Because then you precisely take that information after you conduct a well-written survey, and I write the questions very precisely, and then it is conducted either in person or by phone, or you can do an internet survey. There's lots of forms of surveys. But after we conduct the survey, I get either 100 or several hundred, however many we're doing. We actually tabulate it and find out what are the highest percentage answers. And from those answers, then we know what the buttons are. And from the buttons, then we can create a message. Such as the thing for Avis, they try harder. So they actually had to survey to find out what was a thing. Well, they're number 2 because Hertz was number 1. So they developed a slogan of "We try harder," and they tested it out on the public before they ran the campaign. And then you can run a whole campaign of utilizing your buttons for your target public.
What would you say are some of the biggest mistakes, or some of the more common mistakes that companies and businesses make in terms of their marketing?
Number 1, they assume that they know what the people want without asking them. That's number 1. So you really have to ask them. You have to do some kind of homework, interview them, ask them when they come and buy, pass out questionnaires, mail them surveys, whatever you're going to do to find out from them. And then the second thing is they usually will go into promoting according to the salesman that shows up at their door and sells them advertising for the radio, the newspaper, or whatever. And they'll go along with whoever shows up at their door selling them an advertising or promotion campaign, rather than ask the public. Now, what kinds of promotion would you really read rather than toss out, ignore? What kinds of things do you really listen to? And when we have that information, then we can design a campaign that it exactly mirrors the public.